What's going on, guys? I want to make a short video talking about how you can easily get paid more at your job. And this is not theory. This isn't something I read out of a book. This is something that a real tactic that I've used throughout my career and how I've been able to make a decent amount of money working for other people, and something that you can use in your business and your life, and a tactic that you can carry on throughout the rest of your career so that you can hopefully make more money and progress in your career. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet, guys. If you enjoy this video, I ask that you smash the like, subscribe to the channel, support the channel however you can. This is a growing movement. I want to build a community of other like-minded guys, particularly young men, particularly, who are trying to move up in the world and be successful and make a name for themselves, man. So if this resonates with you, subscribe to the channel, show us some love, right? So back to what I was going to say is that in order to get paid more at your job, there's no secret. You have to become more valuable at your job. I'm sure that's probably some groundbreaking, news to you guys, right? You probably already knew that. But the way this works is you have to become so valuable at your job, at your position, at your work, that your boss can't afford to lose you, right? This doesn't matter if you're at a huge company, a Fortune 500 company, or if you're at a small startup, right? In fact, the smaller the company that you work for, the more effective this tactic is. And it's very simple, and it goes like this. You have to become so valuable that if you were to leave, your boss, the owner of the company, whoever you work for, is going to struggle financially. AKA, if you're their best salesperson, right? If you leave the company, then they're not going to make as many sales and their revenue is probably going to take a hit. If you're their best marketer, right? If you leave the team, they're going to have a hard time getting more customers. They're going to have a hard time delivering for their current clients. They're going to have a hard time. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're the best graphic designer, the best leader, the best, HR person, it doesn't matter what it is. You have to be the best in the entire company, or at the very least in your purview of what you are, who the people you're working with. You have to be so valuable to the team and to your boss that they can't afford to lose you, right? Otherwise, they're going to lose money, and it's going to make their lives a lot more difficult. And when you're in that position and you're that valuable and you actually do drive real value in the company, and ideally, if you're tied to revenue in some way, shape, or form, AKA, you're a salesperson or a marketer or one of those two things that's able to drive new revenue into the business, and you're directly tied to that, then this is even more valuable to you. Because if you can get to the position to where you are driving so much value into your business, into your workplace, into your boss, and you're helping the team so much that if you were to leave, that the team would struggle and that the team would not do nearly as well, you are in the perfect position to be able to go speak to your boss and say, hey, this is what I'm making currently. These are my job responsibilities. I'm doing this, and all these different things extra, right, on top of my current responsibilities. I want to get paid this. I'm currently getting paid that. Can we make this work, right? And you're going to have a tremendous amount of leverage when you do that, because your boss, hopefully, if you're articulating that clearly, is going to know that you're incredibly valuable, and that if you leave, it's going to cause them a lot of stress, a lot of trouble, and a lot of money, ideally. So it's going to be in their best interest to pay you a little bit more, or a lot more, depending upon how much value you bring. It's going to be much easier to keep you around, right? There's a saying that goes with women, instead of divorcing your girlfriend, it's like, or your wife, it's cheaper to keep her, right? You guys have probably heard that saying before. It's a saying for a reason. And it's going to be the exact same thing with you in your workplace, right? If you're driving tremendous value, and again, I'm talking about real value in your company, and you're helping the company succeed, right? And you go to your boss and they have half a brain, they are going to give you a raise, right? If you present your case effectively. And again, if you just go in there and say, hey, I want to make more money, then they're not going to give you the raise. But if you go in there and you explain it to them and list everything out, saying, hey, my responsibilities are X, Y, and Z. I'm doing all these plus A, B, and C, right? You're going to have a tremendous amount of leverage, right? And if they know that you can go out and get another job or go and do something else really easily, it's going to be that much easier for them to justify paying you more, right? I've used this in my life multiple times to start earning up to $350,000 a year working jobs. And it's something that you can use in your life, in your business, in your workplace starting today, understanding that your job is to perform your job duties and much more. right? Find ways to contribute, find ways to bring extra value to the company, find ways to make the company more money, and then show that to your boss and let them know that you're going above and beyond and that you drive a tremendous amount of value, right? And then when you do that, your boss is going to understand. Again, if you explain this correctly, your boss is going to understand that if you leave the team because you don't get the money that you want, then you are going to, that gap in you leaving the company is going to cause a lot more problems than it's even worth doing, right? It's just much better to keep you around than it is to, suffer the loss of having to hire another person and then train somebody else and then have them make mistakes. It's not worth that. It's cheaper to keep her, right? So keep that in mind, guys. Understand that your job, whenever you're working a job, is to drive as much value as you possibly can inside of the company that you're working for and become so valuable and so much of, what Seth Godin calls a linchpin that the company cannot function without you, right? Or if they can function, it's going to hurt them, right? That's how you get paid. That's how you make a lot of money. And that's how you move up in the workplace. I don't care what anybody says. That is how you do it. You have to get leverage over your boss. And if you do that, I promise you, the sky is the limit as to how much you can make. And you are always, always, always going to be able to have leverage when you're walking into those different types of situations to where you're going to negotiate for more pay. So I hope this helps you guys out. I hope this makes sense. Let me know in the comments if this does make sense. If it doesn't, I'd love to hear your feedback and your thoughts. And again, if this helps you guys out, guys, subscribe to the channel, show us some love, smash the likes. Would love to hear from you guys and get your support. I love you guys. Hope this helps you guys out, and we'll speak soon. Peace.